All right, unfortunately, we can't get all of that. But in the meantime, we're going straight to the Senate chambers where we have News Central Sagir Ibrahim on standby, who is joining us now to give us more updates on what's going on there at the moment. Sagir Ibrahim, thank you for joining us. What's the current atmosphere at the National Assembly as Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan attempts to return? A lot of people have been expecting some drama.
Yes, indeed. Good afternoon, Blessings. Thank you so much for having me on the news this afternoon. So expectations have been rife. The general expectations being that Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan will be resuming today at the National Assembly and be entering the Senate chambers to partake in the activities of legislation today. But it may seem that the people of Kogi Central may be denied another day of representation, as just a few minutes ago, the Senate President, in fact, approached the chambers and have entered the chambers with expectations that plenary will begin in the coming moments. Talk about the environment. Well, upon entering the National Assembly gate earlier this morning, we saw a barricaded area around the entrance. Of course, to control the inflow and influx of traffic and movement within National Assembly complex. It is also interesting to know that today is the House of Representatives open week. So whether the increase in the presence of security operatives is because or it's because Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan had been touted to return to the Senate today, one cannot say precisely. But this event seems to have, run into each other pari passu, with one not being able to confidently say that this is the reason why there has been an increase. However, situation at the moment is that she is in fact not in chambers at the moment. There has been no sign of her making an appearance within the vicinity of the National Assembly, and it may seem that today might just be another day with her absent from the chambers while the plenary proceedings commences in earnest.
All right. We also want to find out how the Senate leadership has responded to the Federal High Court order that nullified her suspension.
You may have to repeat that question again. I didn't get the question.
Okay, so I'm just asking how the Senate leadership basically has responded to the Federal High Court's order that nullifies Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan's suspension.
Okay, so say from the response of the Senate spokesman identifying what for about the chamber, which of course includes a written apology to the chair and of course to the Senate itself. There's been not much of a response from any of the members who the leadership of the Senate or any other members from the Senate. And the expectation would be to get more reactions from them today. We are hoping that we are going to make the entrance. In fact, we are hoping to see what shape and form plenary today is going to take, following a declaration that will be present today. But since it is seeming like that might not be the case anymore, this now gives us an opportunity to hear from these lawmakers to know what exactly the expectation is, whether they feel that the punishment that has been meted on her is well within the amount of it's well within the amount of offense that she has committed. We also get to hear from them to know whether the punishment itself has been excessive or not. Remember, the court had mentioned that the punishment itself is excessive, but the Senate, being the organ that regulates itself in its own wisdom, says that that's what it's going to be meting on her. So we could only wait to see what the developments are. We could only wait to see what their responses are going to be to these developments in the media. And whatever that is going to be, whatever the case may be, we'll definitely be bringing updates about that.
All right. Thank you so much, Sagir Ibrahim, for bringing us the update from the Senate chambers. And definitely, like you said, whatever the update is, we'll definitely keep the viewers abreast of the situation. Thank you once again. Moving on.